Good morning, everybody. We are doing our webinar today on virtual assistants and are you ready for one and all the things that they can do. So I started getting, I'm in a coaching program that started talking about this a lot, and they were saying, you should try it, and I was really apprehensive about it. It just didn't make sense to me. I didn't know that if it would work, and like anything, it's money you're investing, right? And into your business. And so I finally got to a place where I thought, hey, if enough people are saying it's working and it works for them, then I'm going to give it a try. And so I did. I interviewed several different companies, talked to people that I knew that were using virtual assistants, some people in the coaching program, and I came across the company that I'm using. The reason that everybody has a little bit of a different structure, right? So you can either pay some upfront fees and pay a lower hourly rate, or you pay a higher hourly rate. And for me, I would prefer to pay the higher hourly rate because I wanted to make sure that I liked it, and I didn't want to pay all these upfront fees and then not like it. So I found the real estate assistants, and they are fantastic. They work with a lot of lenders and real estate agents specifically, but can do a little bit of everything. And so what happened was, when I decided to take the plunge, Joseph said, based on what I was looking for and what I told him how many hours I wanted a week, and based on what I was looking for, he found 3 candidates, sent me their resumes. I interviewed two of the 3, and then I picked one, which was Mary Kay, who's also on the call today too, and some of you might have spoken to at some point. And so better to hear it from them than me. So I was going to ask them a few questions and then open it up for questions at the end. So Joseph is here today. He runs the real estate agent. Tell me the exact name and your title and what you do, Joseph.
All right, so my name is Joseph, and I'm the managing director here at Real Estate Assistant. And part of my task, or mostly my task, is to ensure that I create a good client and VA relationship. So I just don't focus on the VAs making sure that they do the job, but I also make sure that we pair them with a great client, just like we. Oh, I think you're on mute, Lee.
I was muted, thank you. So where are you located? Where are most of your assistants and virtual assistants located?
So all of our VAs, including myself, were from the Philippines, but we do service US time zones.
Perfect. And so you guys kind of just adjust to what the client needs, right?
Yeah, so we service from Eastern to Pacific time zones. We did have some realtors before around the Hawaii area. So whenever we work around Eastern to Pacific, it's like nighttime or graveyard shift here in the Philippines. But if it's from Hawaii, it's going to be the morning shift, like literally morning in our time zone.
Yeah. So how do you find and train your candidates?
Well, first, when we find candidates, we make sure that they're already experienced. So they either have experience working with a realtor, calling home buyers or home sellers, and then other than that, we also look for people who has experience if they have with real estate investors, such as flippers and wholesalers. And the reason why we're looking for those 2 experiences is that they are already used to convincing people to set up an appointment with their clients or with the realtor or with the investor. So basically, setting up an appointment would be an easy task for them.
Perfect. And what are you finding? What are most of your clients? What do they have their VAs doing?
Right, so that's a good question. So we do have 2 types of VAs. we have a general admin VA and an ISA or an inside sales associate. So for the general admin VA, their primary task will be off the phones or anything administrative. So for realtors, they are the ones who mostly hire GVAs. They hire them to do transaction and coordination, social media managing, anything that does not require the VA to be on the phone. Now, the ISAs or the inside sales agents or associates, their primary task is doing prospecting or anything on the phone. So they can take either inbound and outbound call leads, set appointments. So yeah.
Perfect. And what do you have a majority of, do you think? Is
Right
it like
now,
50-50?
nah, it's more like 95% ISAs and 5% general admins. I'm
Perfect.
not sure why though. But before with realtors, they usually hire more admins as opposed to ISAs, but now they hire most ISAs as well.
Great. So say we come to you. This has not happened to me, so I don't know the answer to this question. But say you hire a candidate and it just doesn't work out for whatever reason. What is that? What does that process look like?
So the process would look like first, I'll try to check or I'll try to dig deep. Why is it not working? If it's about the performance of the VA, then I'll go ahead and find a replacement. It would look like the same as you were interviewing your first candidate. So I'll still be sending you candidate profiles for the replacement. You would still have to undergo the, interviewing the next ISA or the replacement. Once you like the replacement, then we we put the replacement. If in the event that you don't like any of the candidates I send you for the replacement, then I'll send another batch of candidates.
Perfect.
And it doesn't have any limit. So I'm a strong believer that if it doesn't work out, it should be replaced immediately because let's not waste time. But for the number of replacement, if like there are about 4 or 5 replacements, and I think it's the same issue, which is the performance of the VA, I won't stop. But if there's anything else, then I think the relationship between real estate assistant and the client is not good enough. So we might end the relationship.
Right. So I think that's everybody's big fear of why they don't take the plunge, right? They're always afraid it's not going to work out. So I think what you're saying is there's lots of solutions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
and you're
exactly.
not locked into anything.
There's no long-term contract, so it goes every invoice. So an invoice would be good for 2 weeks. So if after the first invoice you decide it's not working, then you can just let me know, and then we'll part ways, shake hands, and that's it.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so now you're going to hear from the girl herself, Mary Kay. She is my VA, and she does a fantastic job. Luckily, she was the one I picked, and she accepted and has been working on for me and my team, and it's been fantastic. I think what I have her doing is setting appointments mainly. We've just started venturing into the social media world, and she's liking and commenting and saying happy birthday on my social medias, and helping me on that way too. So because honestly, she was just setting so many appointments that it was hard for me to keep up. So we had to diversify a little bit. But and so then with that, we let her work with some people on the team too, and offered for her to help some of my realtor partners too. So so Mary Kay, will you just tell us what your experience is like being a VA and kind of how you organize when you're working? And first of all, tell everybody
Good morning,
how
everyone.
We're exactly 12 hours behind East Coast time, right?
Yes, it's almost midnight right here.
So I never know whether to say good morning or good night to her.
So again, hi everyone. The people in the room, I think I've talked to you guys over the phone or through text at some point. So hello. I've only been a VA for less than a year. With Lee specifically, I've been with her for I think 2 months now, and I'm definitely enjoying every second of it. Just like what Lee said, I'm more of an ISA for her. My tasks mainly revolve around making realtor calls and ultimately setting up appointments. And just recently, we've slowly added social media management into the workload. I'm just starting with very light social media tasks for now, such as liking and commenting on posts, and eventually, I'm pretty sure I'd start posting our own contents and many more. I'm excited for that to happen. Um, the work that I do now, and this is just me, is life changing. Life changing in the sense that I now have a better work life balance. I actually used to work in a regular office environment for I think over 10 years. And what stressed me the most was the hours spent on travel. I don't know if you guys have been in it here in the Philippines, but the traffic situation here is a pain most of the time. And being a VA enables me to work at the comfort of my home, therefore, eliminating travel time in going to the office. Plus, I prefer working in a quiet environment. I just feel like it helps me manage my time better. And now that I'm a VA, I finally have time to, play badminton, take care of our garden, our dogs, little things that I wasn't able to do before. And the one thing that I like the most here, when I started working at real estate assistant and with Lee, is the fact that I'm exposed to new things every day. I learn new things from coaching sessions with Joseph and my team lead. I learn even from a simple email from Lee or the loan officers under her wing. I even learn new things just by talking to realtors over the phone when I do cold calling. So yeah, I'm continuously learning. In a nutshell, I think that job and life satisfaction are reliant on a combination of factors, not just a decent salary. Thank you, Joseph, and thank you, Lee. And being a VA brings together all those factors that make life less stressful for me. In fact, it gives me greater satisfaction than any other job I've had before.
Well, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. That's awesome. Um,
Thank you.
so how many calls so you work 4 hours a day, right?
Yep.
With
Mhm.
us, and about how many calls do you make in those 4 hours and how many appointments? I think I know, but tell them how many calls you make in a 4 hour session. Well, now we're doing 3, but so 3 or 4 hours. And
Uh,
how many appointments do you set a day?
um, the calls would actually vary from 100 to 150 in every 4 hours. The number of appointments, I'm going to be very honest with you, it's varying all the time, but it ranges from 1 to 4, 2 to 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think there's only
so the
been
number, I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. I think there's only been 1 day in 2 months that you didn't set any appointments. And I think the average for me when I'm looking at the number is 3.
Um, I can't confirm that, but I think you're correct. Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah,
So the number of appointments usually they lessen, especially when you've already called the leads and you're just circling back. So yeah,
yeah. But you've also done things like like we had a happy hour and you called for the happy hour for people to
mm,
come.
yep,
Mhm. And
that
people
was a first for me.
that was awesome. It was like our best attended happy hour ever. And it's so funny because people said that the only reason they came was because you were so nice on the phone.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. They're like, she was so nice, I just couldn't say no to her. So I think as humans, like when we're cold, like all of us as we're cold calling, right? Like it and you
Mm,
can confirm, we haven't talked about this, but I think as humans, like once you hear no, no, no so many times or someone's mean to you, like it's hard to pick up the phone again. But I think one of the
yeah.
things that people said about VAs that makes it easier for you to be able to do it than like us, for instance, is because you're calling for me and not for yourself. So like the rejection is about me and not about you, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's it. That's it.
yeah,
And as a VA, I personally, I always, well, we always get no's from these realtors, but it's important to really think that again, they're saying no to you and not me.
Yeah,
So there's, I need to pick up the pace, bounce back, and, just continue calling
right.
and get those appointments coming.
Yeah. Um, so I didn't know that you guys were doing training. You guys did training weekly. Can you tell me a little bit of what that looks like? Because Joseph, like they handle all of that. Like you write me an email at the beginning of the day and tell me what you're gonna do because we make plans, right? And then at the end of the day, you check in with a recap. So it's really great. So I never have to. I really hardly have to manage anything at all. So it's been really easy. But tell me a little bit about the training that you guys do. With I don't know if it's with Joseph or with the company that the company provides.
Um,
Okay, so
okay, I think
go
Joseph's gonna
on.
take this on.
Okay, sorry.
Go,
So
Joseph.
for training, even though the ISA, like for example, MK, even though she's successful setting up appointments, we do still get like script practices every other week, so that we can make sure that they are still on top of what they're doing, because we're going to be training them for two type of scripts. So that will be realtor appointments and LO. For example, for MK, she's just doing realtor scripts right now, so we need to keep on practicing her LO. So just in case she'll be, or say for example, we would ask her to do LO recruitment, she wouldn't have any problems doing or using the script. So just more of like making sure that they stay on top of the scripts that they are supposed to use.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, we'll open it up for questions. I know it's mostly people that are familiar with MK on here right now, but do you guys have any questions about the process or what MK does, or any questions of anything or anybody else? Nope. You guys good? All right, well, thank you so much for your time, guys, and I know this will be helpful, and we'll put your contact information, Joseph, in the comments on the YouTube video and on Facebook when we send the video out. And then if anybody has any questions for me, feel free to reach out, and I'm happy to point you in the right direction. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Lee.
Thanks,
Bye.
Lee. Thanks, team.
Bye-bye.